Hey guys, I'm just here to talk about how the 2015-16 NFL season is going to be looking for the Buffalo Bills. So last season they went 9-7, which you're not going to go to playoffs with that record. And speaking of how Week 17 was against the New England Patriots, who had all their backups in for most of the game, right? So that's pretty much 8-8 if they had all their starters, but they probably cheated, right? um, well, they stacked up since then. They got a new coach, Rex Ryan, probably the best defensive coach in the game. He's got a good mind. He likes hockey. Fits in with Buffalo pretty well, right? Even said the beer's nice and cold. But he he's he's been a big factor since year because he's teamed up with the rest of the coaching staff, general manager, ownership. Terry Pagula. He's also the owner of the Buffalo Sabres. Well, anyways, they're coming up with a pretty good team, which is called the Rex Effect. Well, last year it was pretty much their defense that led them everywhere. They had a lot of picks. They beat the Packers with a few picks. Sacks. They led the league in sacks past 2 years, 54 last season, and that's just gonna get better with what he's done, with a great defensive mind of his own. Well, offense was pretty much the main factor last season. They had Kyle Orton starting last season because EJ Manuel had a rough week 3 and 4, and that was against the Chargers and the Texans. So their O line wasn't helping out Orton and Manuel that much. So since then they've got Richie Incognito, who was kicked off the Dolphins for bullying, but that was 2 ways, right? So he's got a good personality. He's gonna help out the roster very much. He's he's a guard. He's a big boy. He's strong, and they might get someone like Alon or someone for left tackle. I can't see it though, but their O line will probably look like from left to right is gonna be Glenn Miller, the new guy they got from the draft, who will fill in for Brick, and then they got center Eric Wood. He's 6'4", 310 pounds. He's 29 years old. He's good. He's been on the Bills for a while. He's a good blocker. And then you got right guard Richie Incognito, and then right tackle you got Henderson. So that's pretty strong. And now that they're gonna have to protect somebody, all right? So then they got for their quarterback situation. They traded him for Matt Castle. He's a good pocket quarterback. He'll help out a lot. He's got good experience. He used to play for the Patriots. Filled in for Brady one season, and since then he's pretty much been on the Vikings, which he's been a dominant player with. But he's not your typical Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, maybe around a Tannehill level of skill, maybe. Well, then they got Tyrod Taylor from Baltimore Ravens. Now he's got bad accuracy, but he's probably probably the fastest quarterback in the game, which speed kills, which Rex said. Well, then you got EJ Manuel. He's a big armed quarterback. He's fast. I think he can turn into Cam Newton if he gets a starting time, which he hasn't had because Orton took over last season. And 2 years ago it was Thad Lewis and Jeff Toole. Which Jeff Toole is your fourth-string quarterback most likely this season. He's not bad. His accuracy is not bad. His speed's not bad. But I think he'll be okay as your fourth-stringer, which doesn't matter too much. But running backs. Last season they had C.J. Spiller, which he's just pretty much mainly speed. He's gone to the Saints, and this season, well, they trade out for LeSean Shady McCoy, who played for the Philadelphia Eagles, and him and Chip Kelly are having a rough time together, talking trash to the media about him and everything. So he has a chip on his back. He's gonna dominate when they play them, and they play them this season, by the way, in Philly. So it's gonna be a good comeback game. Then they got Freddie Jackson, and Freddie trucks his way through people. He's got speed. He's strong. He's good. He's also the oldest running back in the NFL, which means you got experience for the young guys, like Carlos Williams, the guy who we just drafted. He's got a lot of speed. He's got some juke, spins, jumping, everything. Then you got Bryce Brown and Boobie Dixon, which we won't see much of them, but maybe a bit of Dixon. Then you've also got, for fullbacks, well, they got Jerome Felton this season. He went to the Pro Bowl. He's good. Like, he's strong. He's fast. He's a great blocker. He'll do a lot this season. He's gonna help out. We're gonna have a good team with him. So I expect big things from him, and we're gonna have a good year. The Bills are gonna probably, I don't know, go to the wild card game or something. Well, anyways, Jerome Felton, he is 6 foot, 6 feet tall, 248 pounds, and he's 28 years old. So that means, he's experienced. He's a good player and everything. Well, that's pretty good. And then they also just picked up a new guy, John Connor. Now he's really great for blocking and all that, especially on special teams. That's where we'll see him the most. His nickname is the Terminator when he played for the Jets and the Giants because his blocking is hard to get through the guy, But we might see a bit of him protecting Lee Sean and Boobie and Freddie, right? Well, he's good for blocking guys like Percy and them for returning, and even when we're kicking off, he's good with Felton. They'll get the guy down in the 20. Well, wide receiver depth was also pretty good actually last season. They had Wood, Hogan, Goodwin, Watkins. Well, this year they signed Percy Harvin. Now he's one of the most popular wide receivers / kick returners in the NFL. He's really fast. He made a kick return for a touchdown in the Super Bowl a couple of years ago against the Broncos, where the Seahawks just dominated. Yeah, he had an attitude in the dressing room in Seattle, but him and Rex are getting along. He got along with most guys in Jets, so I think that won't be a concern this season. Then, so Watkins will probably be your number 1 guy. Number 2 will be Robert Wood. Number 3 will probably be Percy Harvin because he plays slot. Then you got Chris Hogan. He's good. He doesn't drop passes, He got speed. And then you got Goodwin. He gets injured, but he went to the Olympics, actually. And he's really fast. One of the fastest guys on the team next to cornerback Ronald Darby, who they drafted, and we'll be talking about him in a bit. And then they also not drafted, and they also got easily, he'll be in there for special teams. Great blocker, and he can actually return too, so that's good. And then you got guys like Palmer and Thigpen, actually. Thompson, he'll make it. Thigpen I want to talk about because he had a huge punt return from the 25-yard line all the way down in the Packers' end zone when we played them this season and ended up upsetting them, actually, which is a great game to watch. And Rambo had a few picks and everything. Well, anyways, he might not be on the team because we don't have space, because you pretty much got to cut somebody like Hogan or Goodwin or someone to keep him on there, which I don't think will happen, but maybe we'll find a spot in there for him somewhere because he's top 11 in punt returning almost every year, so he's going to help out a lot, and if he makes the team, obviously. Well, for tight end depth, they had Scott Chandler last year, but he actually signed with the Patriots, unfortunately, so we're going to have Gray and Greg as their tight ends, which that's not very good for depth, but I don't know, they're both decent. Well, then they brought in Charles Big Play Clay from the Dolphins. He was ranked like 85th best player from his opponents last season, and he's going to help out the team a lot, and he's also got speed, doesn't drop passes, he's a great blocker, he's strong, and he's big, right? So he's going to be a big help. Then you got Greg, Gray, and O'Leary, a guy they drafted. He's a big boy too, you know. So offense doesn't look too bad, just quarterback situation. But I think if you give him that many weapons, he'll do just fine, right? So then their D line, it'll probably look like Hughes, Kyle Williams, Mr. Big Stuff, Marcel Darius, and you got Mario Williams, of course, who he's pretty much big structure guy. He gets a quarterback. 3 sacks on Tannehill last year for Thursday Night Football or something like that. And that's going to be good. Then back there behind him, they got Bradham, Preston Brown, Randall Johnson, Lawson. He's pretty good. Then for cornerbacks, this is what I really want to talk about right here. That and safety. So you got guys like Corey Graham. He's pretty good, you know. And you got Stephon Gilmore. He might play safety, actually, which I'll be talking about when we come to the safeties. And then you got Broomfield. I won't see him very much this season if he makes the roster. And he'll probably make it, I'm sure. And then you got Ronald Darby. That's the guy who we drafted. He's just as fast as Goodwin, who also went to the Olympics, don't forget. So he's not very good with the ball, but he's got great coverage, and it's hard to pass it to a wide receiver when you got Darby on you. Then you've also got safeties behind them. Well, that's not bad. You got Aaron Williams and Duke Williams. Duke Williams is a strong guy. He's a big structure, you know. You got the hits, but Stephon Gilmore, he might be playing safety this year, which I got a notification saying that Rex Ryan thinks he's a great athlete and he might be able to play safety. Well, it depends how Roby is on corner and all that, but I think that I think they'll just stay with the Williams on safety. Both Williams, Aaron and Duke, which is pretty good. They're both great players, great athletes, great personality, and this will be an interesting season. So, coaching, we got defense has always been good, right? But offense, we got Greg Roman from the 49ers. Now, this will be helping out the offense a lot because you got guys like Booby, Dixon, and that, Bryce Brown. You need a good plan to get those guys going and all that. Even though Booby had a good season last year and he even blocked a punt. So if you with Greg Roman's offense and those offensive players, especially if you start EJ Manuel, Tyrod Taylor, someone who can run, then this will be a dominant offense. But I don't think they'll get anywhere after the wild card game, because maybe they'll win the wild card game and nothing after that, because you pretty much need a quarterback. Maybe if they went after someone like Nick Foles or Sam Bradford, but they got swapped actually instead of Matt Castle, then you might be able to go somewhere. Even if you brought in Tannehill, which I can't see happening, he's gonna be with Miami for a bit, and yeah, this will be a good team. Well, see you guys later. Bye.